Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it, and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we're discussing the Glashütte Original Senator Chronometer with blue granular varnish dial, 42mm in white gold. This variant of the watch was launched at Basel World in 2016. Now the watch on my wrist is easy to wear despite being a 42, and it is a substantial men's dress watch. My 16cm circumference wrist has no problem with it because it's relatively constrained to lug-to-lug. It's 48mm and the shape of the lugs is very sharply tapered and downward dropped, and you can see that that form really helps to arc down and around the wrist. There's also a clever design whereby the strap, which you can see moves completely unencumbered, is drilled relatively close to the case flank, but there's a little bit of a revetment or a hollow in the side of the case that allows the strap on both sides to move completely unencumbered. That's a clever piece of design. You can see just how stubby and tightly downturned these lugs really are. The strap is substantial. It's a semi-gloss brown large rectangular scale alligator leather. Now this is the first time I've seen the watch on the brown strap, so though I've filmed it before, I've never filmed it like this. We're going for a full redo as I consider this to be a unique model. Folded edge, monotone stitch, you can see calfskin on the underside, and it is a Geo factory strap, as you'll note. One other feature I want you to take note of is the relatively substantial white gold deployant clasp. There is a lot of metal here, satin finished and polished. You go inside and you can see that it offers double security. It's a full deployant, making it tougher to drop your watch, and then there is a screw that actually fixes the buckle in place on the proper sizing aperture of the strap suited to your wrist. Now the watch has a brushed case band. It's a horizontal brushed profile that gives the watch a nice longitudinal focus from lug to lug. The lugs themselves distinctively are brushed vertically, so there's a little bit of a contrast with the case band. There's also a fairly sharp break between the lug and the case, so the two definitely come across as separate components. And this is not a Calatrava style case or a Portuguese whereby lug flows into case band and the two are indistinguishable as structures. There's also a polish on the top, and as you can see, a little bit of a transitional bevel on the side. The bezel has a vertical portion, and then it has a conical portion with a step in the middle that helps to break up the width of the bezel, as the bezel is fairly broad. Now when you look at the watch from the dial side, you get a good sense of just how granular and almost pebbly the texture of this dial is. It is a blue varnish, a type of lacquer that's performed in Glashütte Original's Pforzheim dial manufacture. They purchased Pforzheim a few years ago. They now have dial production as well as full movement design and execution, even the tooling for their movements and dials made in-house. They are a complete manufacturer in Glashütte and Pforzheim. Stylized Roman numerals including a watchmaker's 4, there's an aperture and a little bit of a stepped transition down to the monotone blue double-digit date. There's a pusher adjuster in the side to adjust the date, and you'll appreciate the fact we'll start winding this up. There's a power reserve at 12 o'clock, and the little hollow at the base of the power reserve is an AM/PM indicator. That little detail turns dark at night, so you know whether you're looking at day or night on the dial. The watch is designed to recall nautical navigation instruments built by the predecessor companies of Glashütte Original in the 19th century and early 20th century. Stylized, as you can see at center, you have palm-style hands, well, at least for the hour. That's a bit of an Apple fashion. And then you have a elongated assegai or spear style with a counterweighted needle-style seconds. Sub-register, you can see, are sunken into the dial, and there are railroad style tracks for seconds and minutes. Now watch the zero reset function of this watch. Notice how it snaps immediately to 60, but what you might have missed is that it also zeroes the minute register, so the watch always adjusts forward or backwards precisely to the minute. You don't have to do anything. If you want to set the watch to the minute, it zeroes both of the finer scales. Hours don't move, but the minutes and the seconds zero, and then the watch adjusts minute by minute. A wonderful way of setting a chronometer. Now it is a German chronometer with a SLME LMET certificate. It's tested as a full movement, not the Swiss COSC standard, which is just a bare movement. This is a full movement and watch, tested and certified as a chronometer. So as a full watch, it has to get through the chronometer certification. The certification itself involves the ISO 3159 standards, so the performance standards over 24 hours and the positional standards are exactly the same as the Swiss test. They just do it on a full watch here, whereas the Swiss do a bare movement, and it makes a difference. Now on the case back, let me see how much of the case back I can show, because the watch does feature a bit of a fixed strap. There you go. You can see caliber 5801. Caliber 5801, a manufacturer movement, manual wind of course, a 44-hour power reserve, plus or minus 2 per the company. You'll note the fact that it features twin mainspring barrels for more even torque release from max wind to minimum wind, a 28.8 beat rate, stop seconds naturally, swan's neck, black polished fine adjustment. You can see jewels set in chaton, pocket watch style, 3/4 bridge, pocket watch style, engine turned perlage, Glashütte stripes across the bridge because we are in Saxony, not Switzerland. These are not Côte de Genève. And you'll note that all of the screws are either black polished or heat blued, fired that is. And of course, the movement is beautiful and precise. A timepiece that offers immense intellectual and aesthetic stimulation. It's one for both left and right sides of the brain. See it and make it yours on the Watchbox.